through X, by the way. They're welcome to come up if they are a creator, as they are the ones who seem to be pushing the message. And they can tell me exactly how it is that I'm a hypocrite. So let's move through a few things. The first thing is that it is not new information by any means that I have stepchildren. That is not new information. It's never, I mean, that's been public since basically the day I started debating online. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that the attack is it's very much tangential to anything of any import. So these people are bringing up stuff from 20 plus years ago with Rachel, or it's almost the same amount of time with me. They're bringing up things from long time ago. For reference, I'm 41 years old. And these people are talking about things that was going on in my life when I was 24, which is, again, bizarre. But the most kind of important thing is the straw man. So I'm not a red pillar. I've never been a red pillar. And I think the reason that the nature of this attack hasn't worked very well, for instance, I'm live on YouTube right now, thousands of people watching me is normal. And then many people on Rumble as well and other platforms. I think the reason that the attack is bizarre, at least to my audience, is I'm not a red pillar. I've never been a red pillar, and I don't know where people got the idea that I am a red pillar. I have no clue. I have been debating with red pillars for years. The way I got into the red pill space was debating with them. So there was a big call a few years ago for Christian nationalists, or people who were on the Christian side, who were conservatives, to come in, because the red pillars thought that they had basically the best arguments when it came to things like marriage, when it came to things like relationships, this type of thing. And most of the prominent kind of Christian ethicists, the Michael Knowles of the world and things like that, actually wouldn't engage with any of the red pill guys. Like, they refused to go on, they refused to debate with them, they refused in any way, shape, or form to engage. They just refused to. They didn't want to. And I was one of the few who would. So I would actually go into those spaces and debate with them. Actually, that's where Brian found me, was doing some debates against red pillars and also against feminists. Now, where there was some overlap there was when the feminists, red pillars hate feminists, and I hate feminists. So there's some overlap in that arena, right? We both hate feminists. That's for sure. But by and large, I consider red pillars to be fucking degenerates, and always have, and usually call them that. I usually call them degens. That's my like shorthand word for them, is that they're fucking degens. What they're trying to do usually is promote prostitution and promote promiscuity and promote things that I'm against from a virtue-based position. So the next problem is that, let's just say everything my haters say about me is true. So fucking what? I can advocate for a virtue-based position, even if once upon a time I fell short of those virtues myself. And by the way, I did fall short of those virtues myself many, many years ago. I myself was a degen. Yes, I know that this is going to come as a surprise to many, except anybody who's ever watched me. But when I was a young man in my 20s, I slept with women out of wedlock. Dun, dun, dun. Can you believe that shit? I did that. Man. How is such a thing possible, you ask? I know, clutch your chest, gasp. It truly is insane, but I did that. Oh my God. I can't believe it. How could you? I know, everyone's shocked. You should be stunned. Now, what in the world that has to do with me debating degenerate worldviews where these people are promoting prostitution, abortion, and they're anti-marriage. They're literally anti-marriage, not because even the institutions, which is what the red pillars hate, but because they fucking hate men. A lot of these women hate men, and that's why they're against the institution of marriage. And so I was like, I don't know how that precludes me from debating these issues with these people. If it's the case that the criticism is one from hypocrisy, then I want to know what the hypocrisy is. What is it? What is the hypocritical nature of what it is that I'm saying or doing? How would I be precluded as a stepfather from having a say in the social order in society when it comes to degeneracy? Now, generally, the attack here is, well, Andrew attacks single moms, and yet he married a single mom. That seems to be the kind of ultimate criticism, but that shit, it just isn't true. Have you ever noticed, for instance, that nobody has any clips of me doing that? Now, that's not to say that I won't attack the position of a single mother if it's a bad position. So maybe there's a single mom who's an abortionist, for instance, or a single mom who is advocating for prostitution or polygamy or any number of fucking crazy ass things that these people advocate for. I'll definitely attack those positions, but that's not because she's a single mom. In fact, in that very same debate with Charlie, not more than 10 seconds after they cut the clip off, or 20 seconds or something, I literally explained to her my position is a nuanced position and always has been. Yes, it's true that for the most part, men are going to have a bad time marrying single mom. It's not for everybody. And for the most part, you're probably going to have a bad time doing it. And that's the truth. But that doesn't mean that single moms are all bad people. Far from it. So I don't know kind of where this idea for this position came from. I noticed that Brian's in the space. I'm sure that he could back this up, as he's now listened to thousands of my debates. Sometimes I'll have 10 debates at the same time in his studio, with 10 different people at once, or 9 or 8 or 7 different people at once. But the idea that I can't be critical of somebody who advocates that single motherhood's a good thing for society, that's insane. Why couldn't I? And who else, by the way, would be more qualified to do that than me or my wife, who was a single mom? Wouldn't it be the case that if you're a single mom, that you would have every right to speak on the experience of one and why it's probably not optimal for young women to put themselves in that position? I mean, the idea is like, yes, right? So I don't actually understand the most of the criticisms or the arguments from hypocrisy. For instance, today, like, I have a lot of actual degenerates who are gunning for me. And I think that they don't really understand why it is that this doesn't affect my audience, because they don't understand logic. That's one. The second thing is they don't understand that I'm not a red pillar. So they're kind of mobilizing the wrong crowd. And you can't really mobilize the sewing circle Christians either, because they already hated me. Like, they already did. So even if I granted that everything which was said about me is true, who gives a shit? It was fucking years and years and years ago that you're talking about. So long ago, I forget about half the shit. And on top of all of that, when you're talking about the issues themselves, me being a stepfather wouldn't preclude me from discussing any of them or debating about them at all. So since the argument seems to be one of Andrew's a hypocrite, I'm willing to bring up any creator who has made that allegation and pushed it to their audience. And right now, I'll listen to their criticisms and see if they actually hold merit. So kind of with that, I'll open the floor.
All right, easy enough. Any of you creators on here that have been sprouting out lies, please bring yourself up. If I miss one, go ahead, Manko. You can go ahead and approve if you miss one. Make sure we vet them first. Make sure they have some credentials of the bullshit they've been spreading.
There were a few people who Andrew was interacting with earlier today who were doing this, right? And that's why he's doing the space kind of to challenge them. Are they coming?
I don't think that they are.
I don't.
Yeah, I think that they all know that they're fucking full of shit. But just to be on the safe side, Jake and Mr. E, can you take a minute to tag all of them, let them know that I'm in space, and they can direct their actual criticisms to me in this space right now publicly in front of thousands of people live. Thousands and thousands live. Any of them who want to make an argument that I'm a hypocrite because I espouse Christian ethics, I'm willing to listen to.
Let's call some of them out by name so I can start tagging them here. Who have we got? Who should I tag?
Well, Brian's been keeping track of, he showed me some of them. Who's that Asian guy who said that I'm the prominent and premier red pill debater? Who's he? First time I ever heard that I was a prominent red pill debater.
I think it's that Korean dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, him. Isabella
Is it
DeLuca,
Arthur?
I'll get her in there. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
Arthur.
Arthur Kwan, I think.
Yep.
Yeah,
All right.
Kwan.
DeLuca, who else we got?
Basically, any of these fuckers who are claiming that I'm somehow hypocritical.
I would love to help out on the tagging, but unfortunately, I try to look them up and they all block me. I don't know why. I think I'm a very nice guy.
I'm trying to tag a couple. I wanted to ask a question too, because it's funny because I've been friends with Andrew since he was, had 30 concurrent viewers on his live stream. So I wanted to mention one thing and then ask you a question, Andrew, because I think it's funny that this has come up like several times throughout your like streaming career, and it's always the same thing. It's like once every 6 months, somebody finds out and they think they're the next Sherlock. And they're discovering the fucking trend all over again. It's like
they found out a thing which everybody already knew.
Right. The things and the reason that the information is out there is because you've talked about it at length, you and Rachel both. So I thought that's
going all the way
funny.
going all the way back to I think Rachel's very first stream was about why the conditionals for single motherhood are so bad, and why she knew that because she had made terrible choices in her younger years. And so she dove into it, and the whole thing was about reflection and the things she did wrong versus the things that she did right. And that was her. I think her first stream in 2021 was about that.
Yeah. And then the question I had was like, it's got to feel weird because I've seen a handful of these that are attacks coming from like the right, picking up the clip that was on whatever when the most damning part of that clip or the most vile part of that clip is actually the follow-up when Rachel calls it to the show.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is that
the lady said that you should have killed your children.
She said I should have killed. Yeah, she said she should have killed her kids.
Marriage.
Now these are the right-wing creators who are against abortion, right? Except I've heard this argument from leftists 100 times, and that's what they're trying to make the claim of. And I was just so sick of every fucking time I drag one of these fucking idiots for 6 hours, they end up just always defaulting to an argument from hypocrisy, which falls on its face. And she even said in that clip, she was like, no, you're right. There's nothing really there that's hypocritical or anything there to attack you on, actually, except I think that if Rachel was in the room and you weren't married to her, would attack her for this. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, that's just never happened. Objectively, it's never happened. So anyway, that was what they did leave out the most damning part, which was I did engage with her criticism and then took it to its logical conclusion, which was Chuck saying that if she aborted her children, she would be less promiscuous and that Rachel should have killed her kids. That's what she said. That's why I was laughing so hard when she said it. Now, I was shocked that right-wingers ran with this, but in some ways not so much because a lot of them are not really right-wingers at all. They are femcons. And most of the accounts which are supposedly right-wing pushing this are femcons or feminist conservatives who I've tingled with many times and made them look stupid. So now they're going fucking crazy. And by the way, I don't even make these people look stupid. They make themselves look stupid. All I do is ask a series of questions via the Socratic method or give arguments that they end up agreeing with, so it makes them look stupid.
Yeah, I just couldn't believe she bit the bullet that hard either.
I believe it. I've heard it how many times now from these people? Like these, I mean, I can predict what they're going to say before they ever say it. The one time I hit back, right, and it was barely at all. Like these people who were saying that was a meltdown are so full of fucking dog shit. Like that guy, Adam22, he said that that's a meltdown. Didn't he have a meltdown on whatever where he stormed off with the saint and sinner? He was like, oh, I gotta leave and blah, 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 blah. That was way more of a meltdown than me just saying, shut up, bitch. I'm sick of hearing this shit. I don't even think that that's a meltdown. And by the way, I'm supposed to defend my wife. I'm supposed to. I don't know where this idea comes from. I'm not supposed to. But, you know, if you want to go low, then, you know, I'm going to hit back. That's the way it works.
Anybody who wants to, who's listening to this, can go onto my profile and tag the people below who you have seen sharing this in the post that I made, and then I'll comment on it and mention them as well. So the problem is I just don't know who any of these fucking people are. They're all losers, so I can't really find anybody, or I can't think of anybody who's done it because I just don't know who these. Like nobody of note has actually said anything about this. So Libs of TikTok, she won't come on though.
Oh my God, Jake! That
Hang on, isn't she a lesbian, by the way?
She's a sniz licker.
She licks the sniz. There's a lot of people. They're like, I can't believe he said sniz licker. That shit's fucking hilarious. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. That's fucking hilarious.
Dude, I haven't heard that in so long, dude.
And by the way, the reason I use that particular word, sniz licker, is because of the YouTube TOS. Otherwise, I would have, said something worse. But yeah, like I'm not going to get lectured to by a fucking F to M translate. That no fucking way. You know what I mean? About morality.
You couldn't use you couldn't use carpet muncher?
Yeah, an F to M. Oh, I thought sniz licker was better than carpet. Yeah, I thought that was better actually.
I'm not gonna lie. Call me uneducated. I don't even know what the sniz was, but I got the gist of it immediately.
Yeah, you get the gist of it. But it's like this is an F to M detransitioner who then goes on to say that she's fucked 11 dudes and just as many women, and that Rachel should have killed her kids. That was what her official position was, and her entire ideology is based around. I think Andrew's a hypocrite because he would have been mean to me if I had children from previous relationships through marriage, of course. Even though that's just objectively not true. So I think that most of this onslaught, not only has it not cost me any followers, I've gained followers, hilariously enough, but I think that the rumors of my demise may be slightly overstated, considering the fact that I'm live right now and I have thousands of people watching me like I do every night, and there doesn't seem to be much controversy here. What is the attack exactly? Well, I just told the world information that you've told the world many times. Let's see. I talked about this on Gavin McInnes' show. I talked about this the very first time I was on Fresh and Fit. I discussed the relationship past of Rachel. At almost every single fucking podcast that I've been on where they've asked about it, I've discussed it. And so I was like, somehow this is a revelation for people.
It was funny too. There's people, this is the demise. This is the end. It's all over. And I'm like, yeah, that's what.
I'm sorry. Hang on. Hang on. It is a little light for us. There's only 5,000 on YouTube, and I don't know how many there are in Rumble. It's a fucking rough night.
It's all over, man.
It's rough.
It's all downhill from here.
Rough night. I know.
Yeah, and what she said in the actual podcast was, well, you're a hypocrite because you denigrate people for being single mothers, and that's actually obviously she hasn't watched the show before. She doesn't know what she's talking about, and it was just an assumption she made because she associates you with other people who she disagrees with.
I'm sorry, there's almost another 1,000 on Rumble. This is terrible. This is terrible, guys. This is awful. I just can't believe it. There's only 6,000 there, and then there's only another 1,000 over here. This is bad. This is terrible.
Dude, Andrew.
Gary, listen, Gary was right. Okay, it's so over. Numerology wins again. Numerology wins again. Gary went and he bought a whole bunch of. I bet you anything that this guy who was offering money to try to dox my family, which is insane, probably paid a lot of these people fucking money. That's my guess. He probably paid a lot of people money to assist with this onslaught. I mean, I can't prove it, but it wouldn't surprise me. He wants this prediction to be correct in the worst way. But the problem is they don't really know how to attack me correctly. If you're going to actually attack me, you really need to attack my positions and prove them wrong. There are leftists who have done that. That actually does embarrass me if I fucking lose on an actual position. That actually does make me upset. That actually is something that I will sit down and go over for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours until I get the worldview correct. You know what I mean? But that's the way to attack. This is like this happens every 6 months. Oh, what was the last one that happened to? It was who did that? That was Oliver. Oliver did the thing. Yeah. He did the essay clip where I was doing an internal critique and mocking him, and he pretended that was my position, which is just fucking wild. Just wild. But yeah, any other 120 seconds of that debate that you went to, that chick would look dumb as shit. They just so happened to only want to hone in on 120 seconds before we got the response in order to push that narrative. But my suggestion is that people actually go watch the debate, because that was actually a horrible fucking exchange for her. She was just lucky enough that she had a bunch of people who hate my guts who were willing to push this clip as though there wasn't 6 other hours of this chick just getting fucking annihilated, including after that clip. So anyway, I'm ready whenever any of these creators, or even somebody with a large X following, if you have a large X following, 20,000 plus, 30,000 plus, you want to come up, you want to have a little chat, but here's the confines of the chat. You need to explain how I'm a hypocrite.
Andrew, it's Rob. I wanted to ask you a quick question. When it comes from the perspective of particular sort of the female conservative sphere that you've tangled with, it seems that they're making contradictory claims about you. On one hand, you must treat Rachel like a slave and she must secretly be miserable. But on the other hand, you're Smoky Man bad because you passionately defend your wife when someone's attacking her. And I just wondered if you wanted to point out that discrepancy, that you're sort of damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you defend her, then you're emotional. And if not, then, he must not care about her and treat her like crap.
Well, one of the biggest tactics of my enemies has always been to try to drive a wedge between myself and my family, or drive a wedge between myself and those who I work with who are highly respectable, because they've been highly unsuccessful in doing that. Almost everybody I work with, I earn the respect of. And even the people who I debate with, I generally earn their respect, which is how I earned the respect of many of the Red Pill creators, because I go in their spaces and I passionately debate my positions. So I earned their respect over time. They don't fucking agree with me, right? I just had one that I was debating with Coach Dipshit, whatever the fuck his name was. I just had a debate with that guy, right? And that guy went fucking crazy for a couple of days after, just with nothing but personal attacks. Now, it was just a debate. It was just a debate. And let's even say the guy won. Let's just say he won the entire exchange, right? Who cares? Sometimes you're gonna lose debates, right? I mean, he didn't. I won. But the point is that even if he had, who gives a shit? How is that that's worth spending days of your time on some offensive attack. It's just fucking crazy to me. Crazy. So they have Andrew Wilson derangement syndrome, but that's the whole point. The whole point, and the reason that they'll say things like Rachel's responsible for the death of her son, which is a fucking insane, horrible thing to say. They say these things as a form of psychological warfare. It's being utilized as a weapon of demoralization, and the hope is that it will divide myself and Rachel. The problem that none of these fucking people understand, and none of them understand this. Me and Rachel have literally been through hell together. Literal hell. You ain't fucking dividing us. And it don't matter what you do. It don't matter if you take everything away, and it don't matter if you give us everything. You'll never be able to do it. Ever. Not ever. Not in a million fucking years will you ever be able to do it. We've literally been through hell together. And there ain't no possible way that you're going to divide it. It's just not ever going to happen. So, I mean, you should probably look for new avenues there, because there's no way I'm ever going to turn on her or she's ever going to turn on me. It's just never going to happen.
Hey, Andrew, I tagged all the worst offenders on underneath this post, at least the ones that I know of, like the Isabella DeLuca, the Jamie USA, the Heidi Brones, No Jumper, like a bunch of other guys.
Now, hang on. I wanted to say, too, another point to Rob's point here, which is that I think that one of the reasons the femcons get so upset is because of how subservient my wife acts towards me and how good she acts towards me. And that it very much, they can tell that I love her and adore her, and that the opposite is true. And most of these women don't have that. And let's be real. If we had to count a baby daddy for every single time, because they consider a baby daddy, they consider husbands, like they consider me to be my own wife's baby daddy. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? But let's just grant that. And just grant it for the sake of argument, right? The thing that's really crazy about that is that if these women had a child for every dude they've slept with, how many fucking children do you think they'd have?
50,
60, 70, 80. It's like, how many children do you think they'd have?
Incomprehensible amounts.
Yeah.
No, but you don't, Andrew. It's not promiscuous because they've killed all their babies.
Yeah, because they kill their kids. They kill their kids, so it's not promiscuity. So in a way, they're advocating. They're like, do you want to hide your body count? Then just kill your children.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't count, right? No.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Hey,
I found
Berto,
a bunch
can
of
you check
these.
your DMs?
I found a bunch of these femoids, and I just tagged a bunch of them. So the ones that are just talking mad shit.
By the way, I'm just over here. There's a lot of people requesting to speak. I'm just not entertaining them. But Rachel, if you are in here, holla at your
She
boy.
can't get in, bro. You gotta. I just messaged you. She can't get in this. The
You
space
can you can drop me if there's too many people. You can drop me.
Nope. No, we have plenty of spots open.
Berto, make sure you didn't block them back, because otherwise they can't. You won't be able to bring them up.
I
I don't have anyone blocked. I never block anybody. It's very rare. But
No, it's off. I just checked.
Hey, it's really funny. A chatter said, hide your body count by hiding a different body count. Oh, that's fucking morbid.
Yeah.
That is really morbid, but also very true.
Yeah. So I've tagged about more than a dozen people, probably 15, 16 people, and a lot of them, the bigger creators that were dogpiling on that fucking Isabella DeLuca's thread. So those
Jake,
fucking femcons.
Are you in the space here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh,
Can you tell us the story about catfishing DeLuca?
Hold on 1 second. I'm just trying to figure out with Rach why she can't get in.
I got it.
yeah,
Yeah.
she's yelling at me. I think thinking
Yeah.
I would
should be
never
able to.
block her.
Have her try again.
Oh yeah, there
Yeah.
she is. I can see her.
I think she's in now. All good. Yeah, DeLuca. Goes on
Yeah,
with
what's the
the
story there?
photos. Yeah, I'm not sure what goes on with the photos, but she's let's just say got a fair bit more cushion for the pushing in real life.
You've met her?
Yep, met her in Miami.
Really?
Yep.
And she's
I
and
I
she's
met her.
wait, she's a catfish?
Well, yeah, I mean,
Nah,
you've seen the photos that Pearl's
hey, let
posted.
me. Hey,
Oh
first of all,
no.
I actually met her in DC, and she's not a catfish. She's a blowfish. Get it right.
Jeez.
Yep.
Damn.
So
Brutal.
what we've got, none of the creators. See, this is why I think that this thing is just all bullshit and just astroturf, because nobody's made videos of note about it on YouTube. There haven't been any people on X that aren't just total like slop creators saying anything about it, and nobody wants to come up and actually challenge.
Actually, Jake.
So what the fuck even is this?
Jake. Actually, I think wasn't that little like 1 minute clip from TikTok. I don't have a TikTok account, and that's an echo chamber. So can you possibly tag the people in TikTok?
I don't use TikTok.
Fuck.
Yeah, I wouldn't know how to.
So wait a second. We have this space. I'm right here. All of the people who want to levy these criticisms, I'm willing to do, and willing to let them speak how it is that I'm a hypocrite, right? Willing to engage with them, and not a single fucking one of these people pushing this is actually even willing to talk to me.
Crucible audience is there in force. There's no like diminishing of the audience. So what the fuck is this? What even?
I thought my career was
Are you
over.
surprised?
But I thought my career was over.
Yeah, your bottom line is tanking right now. Hard.
Isn't my career over? when does that start?
It's called gay. It's just gay ops, dude. That's all it is.
Yeah. I mean, here I was, so I was willing, to hear out the criticism. Okay, how about this then? Well, we'll switch gears. Any of the sewing circle Christians, if there's any of the sewing circle Christians who want to come up now and levy their criticisms at me for not being nice enough, now is your chance. You can levy your criticisms for that or for whatever perceived hypocrisy you want. How's that sound? That's a good deal, right? Since none of the creators are going to, any of the sewing circle Christians want to come up here and have a chat. I know you do. This is your chance. You got thousands and thousands of people watching you right now. I know you want to come up.
Hey, Jake, I'm going to give you the co-host so you can vet the speakers requesting, because I don't know who would be good for putting up. I see one with 14,000. I don't know if Andrew wants that, but I don't know who that is. But I'll let you co-host and manage it as well.
Yep, sweet. Sounds good.
Look at the post that started it. It was this lesbian chick who posted it, and I went through the quote tweets, and the only quote tweet that blew up and got a decent amount of views was the Isabella DeLuca one.
Now, forgive me if I'm wrong, but Rachel, didn't you and Isabella make peace? Why is she doing all this?
Well, it's funny you should ask. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So after the Cakegate thing, which if you guys don't remember that, she posted a kind of shameless video of herself baking, but it really wasn't the baking, it was just her big old boobies in the frame the whole time, and she's like mixing the batter and it's like slinging all up onto her boobies and everything. And I made a good-natured joke of like, hey, can somebody let her know that we have these things called aprons, and so then you don't have to wipe all the cake batter off your tits. And it just went nuts. It went crazy. It went viral because like a famous baseball player jumped in. It turned out he was in her DMs. It was all this crazy drama. And I DM'd her that, this was probably actually unwise on my part, but I was trying to like do what I thought was right at the time. And I DM'd her and said, hey, since I'm like a much older woman than you and, you're new to Christianity and things like that, it was probably in poor taste for me to make that joke. And if I did embarrass you or anything like that, I'm sorry. And she was like, okay. She wasn't nice about it. She was just like, yeah, whatever. Okay, fine. But I was like, I'm not gonna, I won't say anything else about you. I'll leave you alone. And so she takes this opportunity, and there's been other times since as well that she still goes in and like talks a bunch of shit about me, lies about me, just says whatever will get the clicks and views, because the truth is she is a super shameless grifter. She has no reason to be in politics. She's as dumb as a box of rocks. She tried writing a Substack, and it sounded like a fifth grader trying to use AI, but worse. So it's like, and everybody knows this. Nobody takes her seriously. It's just boomer simps who want to look at her booby pics that follow her. But she takes, every opportunity to try to dunk on me. Probably one of the few women in the space who actually has a brain in her head and something to say. So, shocker, right? Of course they're not going to like me. Because I just point out the obvious, that they're only here to go simp fishing. They're not here because they have incredible takes on politics. Because they're
all of it spans from a Tree of Logic video where they got it all wrong. She got the entire thing wrong, and so that's the problem, right? Is like I've also been accused of leaving my former family, and after leaving my former family and cheating on my black ex-wife with Rachel, I went ahead and left poor little Tyrone and Danae. And this was because I had no choice. I went out one night for a pack of menthols, and I just never went back. Now, the truth is that when I met Rachel, I was a young single man. I don't know what to tell you. Sorry to burst the bubble, but it was in fact the case.
I was also single. And there's new rumors every day. It's so crazy because I'm like, why does anyone care about me this much? Like, why is anybody this invested? But here we are. And
they're invested. They're invested because what line of attack do they have when I destroy all of their arguments and their golden boy debaters? They get absolutely fucking crushed under my heel. And so, of course, they always go after family. That's the typical thing that they do. So
yeah,
unfortunately, little Tyrone Wilson, he's gonna, I have been reached out to by several, young black men in the chat who say that they may be my long lost sons. I don't believe them. I don't. But they make these wild claims.
Well, I just wanted to say I've seen a few retarded things out there. One is that I wasn't divorced until 2017, and we didn't get married until 2017, and I wasn't divorced till 2011. Totally false. My divorce was finalized in 2007. I don't know where people come up with this other than just, it's like telephone, you know what I mean? Somebody gets a detail wrong and then people repeat that, and then that person gets something wrong and so they repeat it. But it's totally out of control and totally wild.
But let's just take a second and grant all of it. Let's just say everything that every single hater has ever said is true. Can anybody tell me what the fuck that has to do with anything?
Yeah. I would like to know that too, because people are like, that's what I keep hearing. I'm like, where's this hypocrisy you all keep talking about? And they're like, well, because you advocate for things that you don't live up to. And I'm like, yeah, every single person who advocates for Christian ethics falls short of Christian ethics. That's the whole point of the religion. All Christians.
I actually remember Chase from the Whatever podcast was open that he had he had slipped up and slept with a chick. And they just fucking piled on him too, called him a hypocrite and everything else, as though it's not the case. Yeah, same shit. Same shit.
Hey, sorry to interrupt, but we've got people that I've tagged that are detractors want to come up and speak. Apparently they can't get in. I don't know if this room is capped or something, but let's maybe dump out a bunch of people that aren't. Yeah, because like there's one Goosifer or whatever is trying to jump in. Supposedly.
What's the name?
Made you co-host.
I'm just paying attention to the replies and stuff that are coming in on my tags. So if anybody can't get in,
Maybe it was a similar
Whoever
problem
can't
Rachel was
get in,
having before, or
possibly.
Mr. Enigmatic, just whoever can't get in, send the names to Berto because we just have to check that we don't have them blocked. That would be the only reason they can't get in.
I literally don't have anyone blocked. Bro.
Yeah, we already
I
addressed
literally
this.
don't. Hey, E and Andrew, I went ahead and made you guys co-host just so you guys can see the request as well.
I can't see him from my standpoint.
yeah, I can't see any new people requesting.
Supposedly, wait, I lost my spot here. I'm getting just so many fucking notifications.
I kind of want him to come up. I want to hear how I'm. I do.
Yep, love to hear it.
Well,
Hold on, I think I figured it out. Hold on.
We're not doing Natty. That's for sure. We've done that.
Oh, also another criticism which came up was that I attacked this woman's dad. That never happened. In fact, all I asked her was if her dad would agree with me or not. After she brought him up. But I never attacked him. Never once did I attack this woman, Charlie's father. That's completely fucking false. Never once. Show me the clip of me attacking this guy. Lying sacks of fucking gutless, fucking lying sacks of gutless shit.
No, and she did say that he would agree with you.
She did, yeah.
So there is one person, Goosifer. It's like a G with a bunch of crosses, like or like slashes through the name.
That's not Goosifer. That's Gary the Numbers guy, isn't it?
Soleil or whatever is the at underscore Soleil, SELAH. So 15,000 subs.
Yeah, I've seen that, but I mean,
they were a big.
bro, can't string a sentence together on his
pushing
fucking
on
Twitter.
it. So I mean, might as well bring up somebody.
Okay.
All right, you are up.
Keep it YouTube friendly.
Yep.
Hi guys. Hey, yeah, so I just wanted to say, how's it going, Andrew? How's it going, Rachel? I just kind of like have a particular, question because I saw what
Hang on, stop. Not really here for Q&A. Just want to hear how we're hypocrites. That's all.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, one of the main criticisms I have is kind of how you portray yourself, right? Because I know you're a great debater and that's what you do. But, when it comes to, attacking people with ad hominem attacks, or let's say, when you, like, for example, when I first discovered you with the Nala Ray situation, and she was turning her life around to become a Christian and whatnot.
No,
and
that's not what happened.
Well, that's what she was trying to do or whatever it was, right?
And when she was, do you remember what I did when she first came out with this?
You were very hard on her,
No, I was very good to her, actually. So there was a panel, you can go back and source this. I'll ask Rollo to post it, in fact, where they were all shitting on her and saying that she was a grifter and that this was a Christian grift. I went on the panel, and at that time it was Rollo Tomasi, I believe it was Sartain, a few others, including I think Pearl was even on the panel. No, it wasn't Pearl. It was Sartain, Rollo, I think maybe James Sexton. I don't remember. I'll have to ask him. But I went on the panel and said to them, no, you need to give them, and I did the same thing with Pearl. I said, you need to give these people a chance before you shit all over them, because isn't the future we're working towards that these women stop doing this stuff and repent? That's actually what I said, and said it publicly in my tweets. It was only when we were on the Whatever podcast and I found out that she was running a ministry and was moving towards a ministry that I became harsh with her. So I just wanted to clear that up.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so I mean, with her, rebuttal and that, she was just saying that she's a born again Christian. She's trying to leave that past behind. But when I
No, she was lying and saying that she was not. Okay. Well, go ahead and finish first. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Look, I'm no fan of her either. Don't get me wrong, right? It's more so that the whole, philosophy with Christianity is that anybody could be born again. They could leave their past behind and become born anew, right?
I
that's
agree.
Right, yeah, and that's what she was on the trajectory of, at least portraying or projecting or trying to do that. And when I first saw you, let's say, debating her about it, you were incredibly, let's say, harsh, or
Well, she was lying to me. She was literally lying to me, and then she was trying to correct me on theology, and that's when we started to get into it. When she said that she's not a Trinitarian, she doesn't believe in that. She's a Universalist, right? And then began to attempt to correct me on theology. That's when I told her, like, I'm not going to take fucking, because she was like, you swearing is not very Christian. And I was like, I'll be damned if I'm going to let a woman like you tell me what is and isn't Christian. That's ridiculous, especially when you're sitting here lying to me. And she was lying. She said, I don't have a ministry. She did have a ministry. She literally put herself as a minister on her website. It said Ministry of Nala Ray. And it's like, so yeah, she was
charging. She was charging money for courses to teach you about Christianity. And the same thing happened to me, where there was a very disingenuous clip posted of my exchange with her, where it made it look like I just jumped on there and started screaming and yelling at this newborn baby Christian just to be a meanie. Not what happened at all. As Andrew said, she was saying that no, I don't believe in the Trinity, and Jesus isn't God, and he's not, she was saying all this stuff that was completely incorrect. And I went on first to try to like calmly correct her and be like, hey, listen, you're very new to this. You clearly don't know like what you're talking. Please don't teach people. You've been Christian for 5 seconds. And by the way, she got baptized at this like mega church that literally baptizes you in blow up pools. Okay. This is not like a proper church that's going to teach any theology. And she switched straight from selling porn to selling, let me teach you about Christianity. And I was trying to explain to her, like, this is not a good idea, not just for other people who you could lead astray, but also for you. Like, you can fall headfirst into serious and dangerous heresy that's going to totally ruin your Christian life. And I was trying to calmly tell her this, like, hey, I've been in the church a lot longer. Please listen, because I'm trying to warn you. And she got super nasty and super sassy and super rude with me. And that's when I kind of told her, like, look, you have no business doing this. You are not to be teaching. And if you were reading your Bible at all, you would know that, because it says it right in the Bible that you're not supposed to be teaching and preaching to people and having authority over men. And you just got here yesterday. And this is why people are questioning the sincerity of your conversion. But of course, what happens is we get clipped out of context to make us look mean, and like we hate women and we're just attacking women. So.
Well, not only that, she was saying that you and Andrew weren't real Christians because you weren't accepting enough of her.
That was her focus. Yes, correct. While at the same time demanding that her Christendom be recognized, she could not wait to say that ours should not be. So it's like at that point you have a theological dispute. But caller, I actually don't mind engaging with this, and I'm going to give you the floor to kind of make your case here.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because I see where you guys are coming from in that regard, in which you were trying to correct her, and she was just trying to, act like she already knew better than you guys. But my gripe is because as things escalated, you guys kept on furthering the escalation with further attacks and, cursing, profanity laced attacks. And that's not how a Christian upholds themselves as a demeanor, you know what I mean, with their demeanor. So when I saw the aggression you guys both had towards her, even though she's wrong, right, in what she's saying, I feel as though the way that you guys went about it was improper as a Christian.
Well, I would not only do I disagree with this, but I've had theological debates on this very topic. And I don't think that what you believe is crass or coarse language is the same thing that's being referenced in the fruits when we're talking about biblical theology. And I have good demonstrable proof for why it isn't, including what the apostles themselves did. So, no, I dispute this. They were extremely hard on heretics, and they were especially hard. And I'll tell you why, too, why they were so hard on heretics. Timothy, he was fighting the cult of Artemis in Ephesus. And when that was going on, the reason that he said that women are not allowed to speak in church is because this was a fertility cult that followed a fertility goddess. And they were using subterfuge inside the church in order to bring converts away. And the Christians were extremely harsh in Ephesus with the cult of Artemis. And I think that some of the language that they used, if you look at what the kind of historic standard is, would make your fucking toes curl, right? So I don't actually agree when it comes to heresy, the idea that you're going to pull people away from Christ, especially through grifting. I think that you actually have a really good case to make that, when these people escalate, sometimes escalation is the way. Remember that when it was denied, when the Trinitarian nature of Jesus Christ was denied, the man who denied it was beaten with a cane by his fellow Christian. Okay. I don't think that I don't actually accept this biblical scope that you give me. I actually don't. I think that there's a distinct way in which Christians have historically fought, and that between Christians we're generally really good to each other and need to be. But often when you see these sorts of heresies come up, rhetoric is also extremely important, and not backing down in the face of heresy is really important.
Yeah, and not only that, if you have this opinion and say that this is a strictly Protestant, very puritanical opinion, that there are certain words designated as naughty that are never to be used by Christians, and that's simply untrue. All you have to do is go back to the Old Testament, read Proverbs, and see how King Solomon talked about whores. Do you know how many times they use words like whore, and in a very derogatory manner in the Bible, right? So this idea that you don't ever say words that aren't proper for kindergartners as a Christian is bullshit. And there's no difference between me saying bullshit and cow poop. They are the same thing. These are nothing but mild cultural taboos. So again, this is puritanical Protestantism. It's a very niche thing, but in the United States, a lot of people don't understand that.
So yeah, anyway, I understand the criticism though, right? The criticism is, hey, maybe you should be nicer to some of these exchanges with people. I think that that's even fair, but can you tell me how that would make me a hypocrite?
Right. So, well, first things first is that let's say you didn't react the way you did to your debate with Charlie, right? Let's say you handled it with more decorum and you were much more cordial. It wouldn't have devolved into this whole mess that you're dealing with right now.
Well, actually,
Criticism.
yeah, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Right. So it wouldn't have gotten to that point to in which she brought up your personal situation, because how it began was you first inflicted an ad hominem attack at her first. So then it made her respond with one herself. And that's how it evolved to where we're at right now.
And that's incorrect. Did you watch the debate? The truth. The truth. Did you actually watch the whole debate?
No, not the whole debate.
No, you didn't. How much of it did you watch?
I saw some clips.
Hang on, not clips. I'm just asking how much of the debate did you watch?
Like 25, 30 minutes.
Yeah, out of 6 hours, right?
Bro, I have a life. 6 hours.
Listen, I'm not beating up on you, but out of 6 hours, you watched 25 minutes. And so here's the problem that you have here, right? It's like, no, it was actually the lack of my combative stance and the fact that I was extraordinarily charitable that made her feel like she could throw ad hominems at me. That's actually the case. So it's like, when I follow the Sewing Circle Christian's advice and say, okay, I'll do this all nicey, it actually gives my opposition complete and total control to just attack me in any way that they so choose, because they don't feel like there's going to be any, like any clapback, any smackback. They don't feel like that at all. And so, no, that's not actually the case. You should watch the entirety of the debate. You would understand the frustration. When I said stupid, I was correct. Like the woman, do you know what the woman said to me? I asked her, do you know what per capita means? And she has a degree, and she said no.
Yeah,
she's like, no. She said no. That's fucking crazy, man. And so when I tell her, like, you can't understand my worldview because you're fucking too stupid to get it. Like,
right, yeah.
6 hours in, it's like, that's true. You just are. You're just not smart enough to understand what I'm saying.
You're right, because I saw that part where she had to claim about like black on black or white, stats, and you corrected her, and then Brian, the moderator, he had looked it up and he proved you to be right, and she still kind of like gaslighted herself and you into
she was lying.
Yeah,
she was lying. Yeah. So the thing is too is like, who cares anyway? If it's the case that 6 hours into a debate, two debaters lose their composure for fucking 2 minutes, who gives a shit?
Well, can we clarify too what an ad hominem attack is? Because I think a lot of people don't understand that.
Well, that's the first thing too. Is that an ad hom is when you're not addressing an argument, but instead are deferring to an insult. It is not when you insult a person while you're addressing an argument. That's not an ad hominem.
All right, Guccifer, land the plane so we can have the next speaker come up. It'll be Big Tech after.
It'll be who?
Big Tech.
No, it won't.
All right. No, it won't.
Gary, the numbers guy's been in here the whole time. Is he going to jump up?
Yeah, no, people who take virtual tours of my house and say that they're going to like splatter my brains everywhere. Yeah, I'm not going to talk to those people. Sorry.
Oh, I don't know who that was. I thought he had a pretty decent following. So, like I said, hey, Jake, are you looking at the request?
I mean, Gary, the numbers guy's been in here the whole time. Is he going to come up or?
It's up to you guys.
Well, does Andrew?
No, he's not. He's not going to levy any criticisms of hypocrisy. He's just going to come on and spurg so that he can try to get a clip. Yeah. So the answer there is no. He can go and spurg on his own channel. Yeah, if I thought for a second that he would come up with a legitimate criticism for hypocrisy, that'd be fine. But that's not what he's going to do. He's going to come up here and spurg the fuck out because that's what they do. But Gary, I just do want to let you know, though, Gary, your ploy doesn't seem to have worked much. It turns out that this evening I went live after not having gone live for a while because my AC wasn't up and running. I've not only not lost a single follower, but gained many. And I have thousands and thousands of people watching me between multiple platforms, but thousands and thousands on just one platform right now. So I don't know. Is that mission accomplished? Do you think that you destroyed my career, Gary? You fat fuck. Do you think you destroyed it?
Andrew, he's just upset because he predicted that I was going to leave you this year.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. It's got days or so to make that's right. You were going to leave me this year. That's correct. I forgot about that.
Any second now. Any
seconds, yeah. I'm waiting. Now, for those of you who don't know who are in the chat, Gary came to DebateCon in order to disrupt the event which was going on there. And security 86'd him out of there. And then he went live and started freaking the fuck out about it, where then he was promptly removed, I guess, from the hotel itself. And the FBI ended up actually coming over along with local law enforcement to say that they have their eye on him because of all the problems that he's been causing for people, which are highly illegal. So none of this actually surprises me. Gary's one of those guys who does this. He makes a prediction that you're going to have a bad time and then goes about making sure you have a bad time. That's not how predictions work. That would be like me getting a fortune cookie and I open it and the fortune cookie says, you're going to break your leg. And then the fortune cookie company hires a bunch of thugs to show up with baseball bats and they break my leg. That's how Gary does numerology. He makes a prediction that bad things are going to happen to you and then attempts to orchestrate bad things happening to you. It's the craziest fucking shit that I've ever seen. But I think, Gary, that your predictions of the end of the career of Andrew Wilson may have been wildly overstated.
Yeah, I'm going to sit here and cry about how this was our worst year ever in my jacuzzi tub with a glass of expensive champagne and think about how I wish I would have followed the numerology guy instead.
Anyway, you know what's funny, though, is like, what's even the point of it? What is even the point of it, ultimately? Is it just petty revenge because of a debate we had? You know, Gary, because I know you're listening, you could have just walked away from the debate. Like after the debate was done, if you had been like, I disagree with the guy, he's wrong about some stuff, all right? There never would have been another ill interaction between us. But for some reason, you went fucking apeshit, and I think that that's because you made these crazy predictions, and now you have to kind of force them to come true. It's pretty wild. But from everything I'm seeing, from all the metrics I'm seeing, and the massive debates I have lined up, I guess if you destroyed my career, I'd like to know how. He's on the phone right now. You know what I mean? This motherfucker, get him! Destroy his life! This guy, by the way, this psychopath, offered money. This is psychotic to do. This guy actually offered people money who were my family members. He thought, he would try to put out on Twitter to my family or Rachel's family, hey, I'll offer you a bunch of money if you'll come forward and give me dirt to use on these people. That is not stable thinking. That's fucking sick. That's how sickos operate. And that's way past the line. That's way overboard. Like, you just got to stop, Like, Gary, if you walked away now and never bothered me again, I would never bother you again. But for some reason, I just don't think that that's in you. I don't know why. Maybe it's that J spirit. I don't know.
It could be that he's short and fat and balding and ugly, and you're tall and handsome and gorgeous and smart. Could be that.
I don't know. I just think it's sick.
There's a pretty funny clip in the Jumbotron of Clav wrecking him on his show. It's kind of funny. He's getting shit on by Clav's fans and the Groypers. I guess this guy walked out on his podcast and called him old and fat and that all his predictions were wrong. It's kind of funny.
Jesus. Well, look, I'm not here to revel in Gary's misery. Like the guy. I hope the guy goes on and has a good life. I don't have anything. I never had anything personally against him. I was there to do a debate, and my job in debates is to win. My job in debates is not whether I win or lose a debate afterwards to try to destroy a person's life. That's fucking crazy. Like that leans into the fucking realm of insanity. And ultimately, it's very self-destructive. That's a very self-destructive lifestyle. So
You really are the nice Wilson, and this is why you have to be in charge, because you're so much nicer and more merciful than I would be.
I just think it's silly. All these fucking there's a lot of real bad people in the world. I don't know why you would waste resources on me. But anyway.
All right, I'm going to pick this random female. Please state your argument right now, immediately. You have a few minutes. Go. Gianna.
I think Rachel's a ran through bitch, and you should let Gary
Yeah, there
talk.
we go.
There we go.
Rachel's
Kind of
ran
figured.
through.
Mhm.
Rachel's ran.
All right. I didn't know. I said argument, not name calling, but all right. Clearly, a lot of people lack
Oh,
that.
hey, I would
That
like to
sounded
know.
like a real ran through bitch.
Yeah. All right. Any real arguments?
I'd like to know from that lady if I'm ran through.
Having 3 people, man, being ran through. All right, Jake. I'll let you pick the next one.
We're just going to go for randoms, are we?
No, we're not
No,
going for
no.
randoms.
I was picking a feminist, and I was like, okay, maybe this one would do it. But
Yeah, so 90% of the barrage is from trolls. Their entire job here is to try to disrupt the space in order to get clips of just talking shit. I want actual creators who have been levying these accusations that I'm a hypocrite and things like this to actually come up and tell me what their actual arguments are. And they don't fucking have any. They don't fucking have them. They have none.
Well, I saw Ryan Dawson in here earlier, but I guess he didn't request up.
Oh yeah,
Ryan.
He was jumping on the train on Twitter.
Sure was. He sure was. And I think
Wait.
we know
Yeah.
why.
Ryan Dawson? Ryan Dawson?
Yep.
I was never anything. I was never anything but nice to Ryan Dawson. I shouted out his work on whatever multiple times. I was very kind to him. I've never done a single fucking bad thing to this guy ever one
Me
fucking
too, by the
time.
way. Me too.
I think he took the Arthur Kwan's approach. He was just like, "This is the red pill debater guy." Like, I don't
He's
think
a
he went
bitter.
too
He's
hard.
such a.
You should
He's
know
a bitter
better,
dude.
though.
He's a bitter dude.
I promoted his Epstein work, like when he was feuding with people over that.
Well, wait. Hang on. Calm down. Because I'm going to be charitable. Because I don't know what Ryan Dawson actually meant or what he thought or anything like that. What did he? Are you sure it said what you think it said?
Yes, I'm sure. Because I couldn't believe he said that shit. He was jumping right on it and saying, your career is over. You're exposed because I'm a whore, and all these red pill guys are, it was the usual line, and he was just agreeing with these bigger accounts, and I was like, wow, dude, I've like jumped in the mix and stood up for you and advocated that your investigative work on things like 9/11 and Epstein was good, and you're just gonna believe this bullshit about me because it wasn't even true stuff. It was
Then I guess ultimately, once again. In this particular arena, Fuentes was right, huh?
Yeah, chalk another one up for Nick, I guess.
Yeah, I guess you got to chalk another one up for Nick because he did put out the warning that this guy was a fucking backbiter and that the second he saw a political opportunity, he would strike. But I've been nothing but very kind to that man. I've literally retweeted him. He's invited me on his show. I said, when I get an opportunity, I'll go on your show. I've been extremely kind to him. And now he just moves right into fucking bed. Dude, these fucking people.
So, Andrew, the thing he said, he said, what hits harder than an olive jar, proving you can have a hoe phase and still find a simp to marry you. So, just...
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty shitty.
Immediately. So, backbiter done.
The guy...
You know who didn't shit on me? You know who didn't shit on me? Who could have? Was Nick Fuentes. A super chatter obviously put up to it, sent in order to get him to attack Rachel and myself, and he didn't do it.
Nope, he
didn't do it. Not only did he not do it, he said very kind words about me and my family. And so what happens? One day that guy's going to need some help from the Wilsons. And when that day comes, he's going to fucking get it. And that's a funny thing, right? It's like these fucking backbiters, you fucking help them, and they just can't wait to fucking night. Never did a fucking thing to this guy except treat him with respect. And I put his stuff out on whatever. He even wrote an entire article about it, DM me, and thanked me for the fact that I brought it up. What a fucking piece of shit. What a fucking piece of shit.
Well, there's a reason why he has, I hate to say this, but there's a reason why he has very few allies in the space, and he has a reputation for being extremely difficult to work with. And like all the other, because that's what I do, is like the investigative historic journalism type of stuff. And he has a reputation for being a backbiter and jealous and bitter and, turning on people and backstabbing. And I didn't want to believe that, and I always supported his work. But yeah, this is just a clear-cut case of he was going through some stuff with his eye last year where it was like looking like he might go blind. And I was like DMing him and saying, hey, I hope, I'm going to pray for you. I know he's not Christian, but I was like, I hope your eye gets better. I know you have a family. I'm sorry to hear you're going through this. He just takes the first cheap shot that he can take. It's just such bullshit.
Yeah. And the one guy was in a position, I mean, he really could have shit all over us, and he just didn't. That was Nick. They sent it in. They sent in the chat, and they were like, now's a chance for, and he was like, you know what? Fuck you. Fuck you, I ain't shitting on him. And I support his work. And you're basically wrong about these people, so fuck off. And so, thing is, it's like when the chips are down, that's how you know. Or when the perceived chips are down. It's
Right.
like, well, I tend not to ever forget that kind of stuff, as this audience knows.
If it's okay with you, I would like to also address the fact that there's the worst lies about this are not just, things about me and baby daddies and all this nonsense, which, by the way, baby daddies are not like people you're married to, just saying. But with all that, the worst thing is people who are alleging based on this awful Brittany Venti video, which again, filled with lies that are public record, that if you ever...
By the way, another thing that guy defended us on.
That's what I was going to say. Nick also defended what happened with our son, who this will be in 2 weeks from now, 10 years since he died in a car accident. Worst thing Andrew and I have ever been through. God awful, and I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemies. Like even the people who've done the worst things to me, I'd never wish this on them. And there's people who I don't think it was accidental. I suppose it could be, but I think they intentionally mixed me up with the mother of the child who was convicted for being responsible for the accident, and said that I was responsible for this and it was my negligence that caused his death. Absolutely untrue. Like I said, I was the victim in the case. This is public record. You could look at, there's articles, there's court records. You can go look this up. I was never under any suspicion of guilt or anything like that. It was,
this shit always does get to me.
it was the other kid's mom who got in trouble, and it was her son who was convicted of it. It wasn't me. So I think it could be a mistake, but I think that these people intentionally misconstrued the situation, and Nick didn't take the bait on that either, and offered some really sincere condolences and comfort on that, which I've always really, truly appreciated, because he didn't have to do that. There's no reason he had to do that, but he did choose to do it, and I think that speaks a lot to his character that he's willing to do that. So I've told him thank you for that, but just wanted to say that publicly, that if you guys are hearing that is a lie. And it's not only is it a lie, it's like the most egregious of all the lies. So just correcting the record on that.
Can you guys see Mr. E? I don't know if he got cut out or what. Do you
I
see
can't
him,
hear
Jay?
him, no.
Yeah, I can't hear him. I think he said it says he's requested.
Yeah, he was my co-host. I never
I think,
kicked him.
yeah, get him back up, yeah.
I did.
It's that Canadian internet.
Fucking Canucks. You can't trust those fuckers.
So it looks like there's not one single dissenter with a genuine pushback to come up after all of this,
Not a single one, just a bunch of fucking trolls who came in for Gary the Numbers retard. So, all right, well, I'm going to call it then on the space. They had their chance. We tried to address whatever their fucking concerns were, but Me and Rachel got to be getting on with life. Unfortunately, we have lots of great content and debates to make. And unfortunately, we have an entire Thanksgiving weekend coming up where we need to raise a lot of money for a lot of families. And so I'm going to get back to the business of the Crucible, which is to beat the shit out of the left. So with that, I hope all of you guys enjoyed the space. I'm going to get out of here, and I hope all of you have a wonderful evening. And by the way, Beaten Cheeks, thank you for hosting this. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Can you hear me, Cheeks? You're muted, bro.
Yeah. Go ahead. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, no problem, man. Anytime you need it, I got you. You know that. Anyways, go follow Andrew up, and he's pretty fucking hilarious. So we're good to go. But anyways, yeah. By the way, we had this up for over an hour and a half. An hour and a half for these fuckers to come up, and you guys tagged them galore nonstop. Not a single fucker came up.
Not a single one.
Absolute.
All right, guys.
Is a lot of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they had a lot of shit to say. They had a lot of shit to say until they could say it to me. Yeah, fucking sniz. Sniz, a bunch of sniz lickers. All right.